Hello children. So today we will learn about the different types of respiration. Okay. So we have completed the process of digestion where we are seeing how the food was digested in our body, and we are seeing that all the food which is digested is been absorbed in the intestine, that is in the smaller intestine, and from there it is been assimilated in each and every cell of our body, that is through the blood cells. So the blood mainly help in transporting this food to each and every cell in our body, in assimilating the food to each and every cell. And this assimilated food, once it goes inside the cell, what is the purpose of that food? What we want energy, and this requirement of energy is fulfilled by the process of respiration. Okay, so today we will study how this process of respiration takes place in our body. So in general there are two types of respiration: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Okay, so respiration is done by the supply of oxygen. In our body we inhale the air. So I have explained in a previous video the process of breathing. Okay, now breathing is a mechanism where you are inhaling air and exhaling out air. Okay, so oxygen rich air, you are inhaling oxygen rich air and you are exhaling out carbon dioxide rich air. Okay, so this air, when it goes inside the body, it goes in the lungs, and in the lungs there are air sacs present which are covered by blood vessels which are called capillaries, and these capillaries will take only oxygen from that air, and this oxygen rich blood is now carried to each and every cell of our body. Okay, where cellular respiration takes place. Okay, what happens here is cellular respiration. So here in cellular respiration we will see how this food which has been transferred to the blood in the cells is being broken down. Now here in this video you can see we carry out in our daily life different activities, and to carry out all these activities we require energy. So how this energy requirement is been satisfied in a body? So that has been done by respiration. So during respiration, as I told you, we take the oxygen rich air, and that oxygen rich air will carry out respiration at cellular level. So we have two types of respiration: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So you can see anaerobic respiration, the oxygen which we take, as I told you, from the lungs, it has been supplied to the help of the bloodstream to each and every cell of our body. So this oxygen goes to each cell. Okay, and this oxygen will carry out cellular respiration. For what? For the energy production. But there are it's not necessary that every time our cell carry out the aerobic respiration, but in some parts of muscles, sometimes the respiration is also been done in the absence of oxygen. Okay, so for the release of energy, when enough supply of oxygen is not there, that time our muscles cells can also carry out the respiration in the absence of oxygen. Okay, for the energy production, and that type of respiration is called as anaerobic respiration. So what do you mean anaerobic respiration? Anaerobic respiration means the respiration which is carried out in the absence of oxygen, and aerobic respiration means the respiration which is carried out in the presence of oxygen. So in both the cases, what is produced? That is energy. So we will study about aerobic respiration. Now aerobic respiration is being done in two parts. Okay, first at the body level, and then next is at the cellular level. Okay, so again I repeat, aerobic respiration is done in two parts, first at the body level and the second is at the cellular level. Body level means the breathing mechanism. So you can see we inhale oxygen rich air which is being carried to the lungs. Okay, and the lungs, okay, with the help, and from the lungs the blood vessels. So you can see here, these are the blood cells, and these blood cells will take the oxygen from the lungs, okay, oxygen from them, and that is how this oxygen rich blood is then carried to each and every cell, okay. And in the cell, cellular respiration, now this is second level, cellular respiration, and during this process carbon dioxide energy is released, okay, as a byproduct. Carbon dioxide, water, and energy is released as a byproduct, and that carbon dioxide is exhaled out, okay. So at body level, oxygen rich air is taken inside and carbon dioxide rich air is exhaled out, and cellular respiration, and at cell level we have the cellular respiration. Now let us see what happens exactly in the aerobic respiration at the cellular level, okay. This aerobic respiration takes place in 3 steps. The first step is called as glycolysis. So in a cell, okay, this reaction takes place in cytoplasm. So, and glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm. The first reaction of the aerobic respiration in a cell happens in the cytoplasm, where the food which is being absorbed by the cell is in the form of glucose. So we have already seen. And what is the chemical nature of glucose? C6H12O6. So oxidation is carried out for this food molecule called glucose, which is converted into pyruvic acid, okay. That is 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, okay, and 2 molecules of ATP and 2 molecules of NADH2 and 2 molecules of water. This is how glucose has been oxidized into 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. So this reaction is carried out in cytoplasm. Further again, this pyruvic acid is again been oxidized into acetyl coenzyme A, which is again being converted into 2 molecules of NADH2 plus 2 molecules of carbon dioxide. And the full form of NADH2 is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, okay. Now the second reaction is called as tricarboxylic acid cycle, which is also known as the Krebs cycle. Now this step of second reaction will now happen in the cell organelle called mitochondria, okay. In the previous one we have seen that the reaction took place in cytoplasm, and now this Krebs cycle will take place in which organelle? Mitochondria. You know what is mitochondria related with? Formation of ATP molecule, okay. Okay, you have studied in 9th standard. So in the first reaction, the byproduct which is formed, acetyl-CoA, will now go into mitochondria, and it will be oxidized in the presence of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water, NADH2, which is called nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, and also FADH2, that is flamine adenine nucleotide, okay. So this is the reaction which is taking place in Krebs cycle. But till now you are seeing that energy is not been produced, okay. Only carbon dioxide and water is in produced. What about ATP? So these two, NADH2, FADH2, will now further again will go some chemical reaction to produce the ATP molecule. That is the third step in cellular respiration, or that is the aerobic respiration. Now the third step in aerobic respiration is called as electron transfer chain reaction, okay. So it is a part of Krebs cycle only, and so after Krebs cycle, electron transfer chain reaction will take place. So NADH2 and FADH is formed in which part? That is in Krebs cycle, and this will undergo electron transfer chain in which the production of ATP is being produced, okay, or happened. So you can see NADH2 will convert into 3 ATP molecules and FADH2 will convert into 2 ATP molecule, and in this both the process water is also being produced. So here, as I told you, finally in the mitochondria ATP is being produced, okay. ATP is nothing but they are the packets of energy which is stored. See, we know that as we use the battery, and with the battery we use for different purposes, okay. And similarly in our body also, this ATP which is being stored is being used to utilize in different ways in our daily activities, and when we are utilizing it, the ATP, the bond of the phosphorus will break here. So you can see there are these are the phosphate bonds, and when the ATP is been used up, that phosphate bond has been broken down, okay, and one molecule of phosphate is been removed, and we get here AD, formation of ADP. ADP means adenosine diphosphate, that is in which two phosphate molecules are present, and in ATP means adenosine triphosphate, which have three phosphate molecules. Okay, so I hope you understood. This is how we are converting ATP into ADP, diphosphate, when you use this energy, when this energy, stored energy, is being utilized. Okay, so you can see the battery is full here, and it is used, the battery is down. That means we are using that ATP, and again this adenosine diphosphate, again the cellular respiration carried on, again it will be converted into ATP. This is how cellular respiration or aerobic respiration at the cellular level takes place. So children, I hope you understood the aerobic respiration. Now, sometimes in a body, enough carbohydrates, every time the cell may not have enough amount of carbohydrates. Okay, so that time how the energy production will be taking place? So it will take place by the lipids and the proteins. See, in the digestion process, we have studied all the types of food we eat, okay, and in that we also seen that the lipids were connected to fatty acids and proteins were connected to amino acids. So instead of carbohydrates, the glucose, okay, when carbohydrates is not there, that time the oxygen will oxidize the food such as the fatty acids and the amino acids to acetyl-CoA, and that in the cytoplasm. And further this reaction will be the same as we are seeing. The acetyl-CoA will go in the mitochondria, that is in the Krebs cycle, which is connected to NADH2 and FADH2, and then by electron transfer chain we get the 3 molecules of ATP from NADH2 and 2 molecules of FADH2. Okay, so this is how in mitochondria the process will take place. So it is not necessary that every time we require only carbohydrates. Even from the lipids and proteins, the cellular respiration can take place. Now we'll study about anaerobic respiration. So anaerobic respiration, in the beginning only I told you, it happens in the absence of oxygen. So here oxygen is not needed. Okay, there is no oxygen present here. So here, and this whole process will take place only in cytoplasm. Here the role of mitochondria is not there. Okay, the whole reaction happens only in which organelle, that is the cytoplasm. The first step is same, that is glycolysis, where the glucose is been converted into pyruvic acid. Okay, that is, and this pyruvic acid, the second reaction, there are two steps only, glycolysis and fermentation. So in the first step, in the glycolysis, glucose is converted to pyruvic acid with the production of only very less amount of energy. So in anaerobic respiration, very less amount of energy release, whereas in aerobic respiration, more amount of energy will be released, a larger amount, you can say, a larger amount of energy release, and whereas in anaerobic, very less amount of energy. So you can see only 2 ATP of energy is produced. Okay, so here the reaction happens in two steps. One is glycolysis, another is fermentation. So let us see. For example, in fungi, for example, the yeast is a type of fungi. So in fermentation, after glycolysis, the pyruvic acid will ferment, and the byproduct which will form is the alcohol, that is the ethyl alcohol. Okay, there is no carbon dioxide formation here. The byproduct is nothing but the alcohol formation will take place with the help of enzyme as a biocatalyst. Now similarly in microorganisms, okay, some of the microorganisms, after in the fermentation, the byproducts are some organic acids such as vinegar and the vitamins. Now even in our body, in our muscle cells, I told you sometimes not necessarily that every time oxygen is supplied. When insufficient oxygen is there, that time when you do enough exercise, you get tired because of lactic acid. So when we do exercise, and we get tired sometimes because in our muscle cells insufficient oxygen is not there, and that time fermentation take place and the pyruvic acid is converted to lactic acid here. So as I told you, when sometimes when you're doing very intense work, suppose if you're doing exercise, that time the body cannot get enough oxygen. Okay, so that time what happens, in the absence of oxygen, okay, Okay, insufficient oxygen will be present, or there will be insufficient oxygen present in our body, and that time what happens is the muscles will carry out anaerobic respiration. Okay, and what is produced the byproduct, that is the lactic acid, and that's why we feel a pain in that muscle part. Suppose if you are running, suddenly there is a sprain in your leg. This is because in that part of the legs the anaerobic respiration carried out, which has produced the lactic acid, and that is why we feel that pain or sprain. And that pain can be removed when enough oxygen will again go into that part of the cells. Now this is how the reaction has been given in your book, okay, where in both the presence of oxygen and absence of oxygen, the pathway of the breakdown of glucose has been shown, okay, where the 6 molecules of carbon in cytoplasm is connected to 3 carbon molecule with the liberation of energy. So in both aerobic and anaerobic, the first reaction takes place in cytoplasm, and then in the presence of oxygen, that is in mitochondria, okay, aerobic respiration, the byproducts are carbon dioxide, water and energy production. Whereas in the yeast, that is in the absence of oxygen, so this will happen in cytoplasm, not in mitochondria, and the products are ethanol, where 3 carbon molecules connected into 2 carbon molecule with the liberation of carbon dioxide and energy. And then in a muscle cell, again in the lack of oxygen, the 3 carbon molecule will be connected to 3 carbon molecule of lactic acid with the production of energy. So here you can see some information is also given in your book about ATP. ATP is the energy currency for most cellular process. The energy released during the process of respiration is used to make an ATP molecule from ADP and inorganic phosphate. So ADP plus P gives us 3 molecules of, that is the ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, P means phosphate. Endothermic process in the cell then uses this ATP to drive the reaction. When the terminal phosphate linkage in ATP is broken using water, the energy equivalent to 30.5 kilojoules moles of energy is being released. Okay, think of how a battery can provide energy for many different kinds of uses. It can be used to obtain mechanical energy, light energy, electrical energy, and so on. Similarly, ATP can be used in the cells for the contraction of muscles, protein synthesis, conduction of nervous impulses, and many other activities. Now let us see the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, which is again a very important question. Okay, the first point in aerobic respiration is oxygen is present when this form of respiration takes place. That means it will happen in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic in the absence of oxygen. Oxygen is absent when this form of respiration takes place. Now, in aerobic, gases are exchanged in this form of respiration. There is exchange of gases will happen. Okay, that is, oxygen will be utilized and carbon dioxide. We are exhaling out which gas? Carbon dioxide. In aerobic respiration, you have seen gases are not exchanged in this form of respiration. So that means where carbon dioxide was not reduced, so only oxygen was taking inside. There was no gaseous exchange. Okay. Third point, it can be found in the cytoplasm. That means this reaction happens in 2 parts of the cell. First is the cytoplasm and there is a mitochondria. And in anaerobic, it happens only in the cytoplasm. There is no role of mitochondria. Fourth point, glucose breakdowns into carbon dioxide and water. The final product of glucose are carbon dioxide and water. Whereas here, the final products were alcohol. Okay. In some cases, it was ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide, energy, and even lactic acid. It's not written, but here even lactic acid. And the next one is all higher organisms such as mammals have this type of respiration. So most of the higher organisms perform aerobic respiration. Whereas some of the lower animals such as bacteria, yeast, and even in some of the other organisms occurs during heavy activities, as I told you. Even in the animals, when they do some of the muscular activities, at that time also anaerobic respiration can take place. Now next point is the breakdown of glucose in presence of oxygen produce more amount of energy, okay, which is called aerobic respiration. And here in anaerobic respiration, the breakdown of glucose in the absence of oxygen produce energy, less energy, okay, which is called as anaerobic respiration. Now the chemical reaction is being given. Glucose plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide, water, energy. Glucose will give you lactic acid energy in the case of muscle cell, or in the case of yeast it is ethyl alcohol and energy. So already we have seen it takes place in cytoplasm, mitochondria. It happens only in cytoplasm, and in aerobic respiration higher amount of energy is produced, that is 38 ATP molecules are produced, and here in aerobic less amount of energy, that is 2 molecules of ATP is produced. Okay, and the byproducts are carbon dioxide, water. Here lactic acid, carbon dioxide and ethanol in the plant cell. Now oxygen and glucose to produce energy is being used. So how the energy production take place? With the help of the oxygen, which has been oxidizing the glucose molecule. But here oxygen is not being used. We have seen in absence of oxygen, glucose will produce the energy. Okay, glucose is being oxidized in the absence of oxygen to produce energy. So these are the in the that is for aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Okay, there are a few more points in aerobic and anaerobic. Let's see those also. As I told you, in aerobic respiration, the reaction takes place in 3 steps. The first step is glycolysis. Second step is the Krebs cycle, and the third one is the electron transfer. Okay, and then we have in anaerobic we have only 2 steps: glycolysis and fermentation. So it is a complete reaction, whereas this is an incomplete reaction because it is happening in the absence of oxygen, where this is complete reaction because it is happening in the presence of oxygen. Now this reaction is a long process for production of energy. You have seen it is a very big chemical reaction, but it is very short. It is a fast process in comparison to aerobic respiration. See, as I given the example here, when you run, sometimes in the muscles, the anaerobic respiration takes place. Okay, so it happens very fast and you feel the pain. So it is a fast process in comparison to aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration, many plants, animals. Okay, where anaerobic respiration occurs in human muscle cells, bacteria, yeast, and prokaryotes. Okay, children, I hope you have understood today's explanation, whatever I have explained you. Okay, so today learn these questions: what is aerobic respiration, what is anaerobic respiration, and also the differentiation between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So goodbye for now. Bye.